and I'm sure Ben could help with that.
All right, so here's the agenda for today. I'll go ahead and expand this. And as always, I put that in Canvas, and I also send it to you. All right, so we did number 1. So let's review the answers for quiz number 2. So here's quiz number 2 from last week. And number 1, which of the following timing codes are considered multiple day testing? So that would be timing code 2, timing code 3, and timing code 7. So those are multiple day testing. And it's going to be important that you go into your operational reports in PA Next to print out that spreadsheet to see which students have which timing codes. So that was one of the videos I sent you probably about 3 or 4 weeks ago. And there are only about 12 views. So obviously half of you still didn't even go to it yet. It's very important you know how to get to those reports in PA Next. Timing code 2, number 2, timing code 5, breaks as needed, can be done over multiple days. And the answer is false. It can only be done in one day. That's single day testing, breaks as needed. And out of curiosity, I'm just curious, I'm going to ask a question. And let's see. So I'm going to ask this person a question. Miss Wells, Woodlawn. Miss Wells, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right, Miss Wells, for number 2, breaks as timing code 5, breaks as needed. What is the maximum number of minutes a student that has breaks as needed can use?
They use standard time minutes. So on which test?
No. I'm talking.
You're talking about
when they take a break for a student that has an accommodation breaks as needed. What's the maximum number of minutes they can have for all the tests? Do you remember? It's okay if you don't.
I think, is it 90 minutes?
Very good. I'm proud of you. That's awesome. Thank you, Mary. Thank you. All right, number 3. Well, there it is. There's the answer, right? What is the total number of minutes that a student can use if he or she has breaks as needed? So it's 90. Number 4, timing code 1 and timing code 2 must be given in a single day. It is fine to mix these students in the same room since they both take the test in one day. The answer is false. Remember, you cannot mix timing codes. Number 5, most of your students will take the standard time test, match the number of minutes for each standard time test. So remember, English is 45 minutes, math is 60, reading is 35, and science is 35. So that's standard time. Number 6, only 2 timing codes will require that the room supervisor manually time the test. Which of the following timing codes will require the room supervisor to manually time the test? And select only 2. So from our previous meetings and from all those videos we looked at, you all know by now, all of you, even the backups, all of you know that the answer is timing code 6 and timing code 7. You must manually time the test. And we talked about that last time. So the reason is because, remember, time and a half is 1.5, right? So if you take that 45 minutes right here for English, and if you use a calculator and you say 45 times 1.5, 45 times 1.5, that's 67.5 minutes. Well, you know that time and a half for English is 17 minutes, 70. So TestNav incorrectly provides the wrong amount of time. So that's why you must do, the room supervisor has to keep the time for any time and a half. Double time, triple time, all that's fine. But it is time and a half that's the issue. All right, so that's number 6. Number 7, a student is authorized for 1 1/2 time over multiple days. The student also receives small group testing, true or false. You can have that student test in a group of 10 students. The answer is false. Now remember, ACT says you can, right? ACT says you can, but I'm going to call on, just to see if you remember the reason. Miss Ruffin.
She sleep.
Karen,
Ah,
that's a good one, Karen. Karen, why?
you call
Yes, sir.
somebody
Okay,
and the other person says she sleep.
okay. So, Karen, ACT says a small group you can test 10 or fewer students. Why is it that in this case the answer is false for number 7? Do you remember?
Yes, sir, because the Louisiana State Department of Education says that we can only have 8.
8 or less. Very good. Thank you, Karen. Y'all are awesome. Great. Thank you. All right, so y'all are remembering a lot of stuff. All right, number 8. The maximum allowed minutes on a particular standard time test is 35 minutes. A student has been authorized for 1 1/2 time over multiple days. How many minutes are allowed for the test for this student? Enter only a number. Don't include the word minutes. So 35 times 1.5, your calculator gives 52.5, but we all know that ACT gives that extra 2.5 minutes. So the answer is 55. Okay, number 9. A senior registers at your school on January 31st. The student was at another school in East Baton Rouge Parish schools on October 1st. Will that student count towards your school's ACT index? And the answer is true. All right. I'm going to ask, let me ask this question. Just out of curiosity, let's see. I'm going to ask this question. Y'all are 2 and 2 for right now. Oh, Ms. Veal. Ms. Veal.
Yep.
Okay, here's the question. All right, so number 9, a senior registers at your school on January 31st, okay? The student was at another school in East Baton Rouge Parish on October 1st. And we all know that that student will count towards the school's SPS. Here's my question. If the student was in EBR on October 1st, and the student comes to your school, on what day can the student come to your school and not count towards your SPS? Do you remember?
Is February 2nd?
February 2nd. Very good. If the student comes to your school February 2nd or beyond, that student will not count towards your school's SPS. Okay? All right, thank you. Y'all are awesome. All right, number 10, who is the only person that should print the authorization tickets for the students? And we all know by now, because we've talked about that, and that is the test coordinator. Okay, so y'all can go ahead and put down your hands, please, so I'll know if anyone actually has a question. All right. All right, thank you. All right, so any questions on this quiz that we just did? Any clarifications? Okay. And again, y'all did a very good job on the questions I asked. All right, so number 3, assignment. Okay, so and this is important, I need for you to do this because I need to know if you actually did this because we're not covering it in here. You have to do things on your own, independent work. After the 3rd meeting, or the 4th meeting, either the 3rd or the 4th, I gave you an assignment. It was for you to either read or look at the video on testing with accessibility supports. And that was on page 6 through 11. And I need to know whether you completed that. So sometime before we leave today, let me show you where you're going to go to indicate to me that you did the assignment. So that way, if there are any issues during testing, I can go there and say, well, this person did or did not do that assignment. So maybe that's why there's an issue. So I need you to go to Canvas course, go to Canvas. So here's where you're going to go. You're going to go to Canvas. I'm going to go in as student view just to show you. You're going to go to Canvas. You're going to go to assignments right here. You're going to go to assignments. And do you see the one that says right here, Test Accessibility and Supports Online Manual? I need for you to click on this, and there's only one question. So when you click on Take Quiz, whatever it says, all right, so I think I've already taken it, so that's why it's not showing for me. But you are asked to watch a video related to the section in the online manual called Test Accessibility and Supports. There's only one question. You will answer yes, I completed, or no, I did not complete. All right, so I need for you to do that right now. Or you have I think until maybe a noon today or something to do this. But I do need for you to let me know whether you did that assignment, because we're not covering it. That's yours. That's you that have to do that independently. All right. So just go ahead and do that, please.
Michael, I apologize. I'm in 2 meetings. Can you tell me where that is in the Canvas course, under which of the headings?
You go to assignments. All right. And you go to where it says where it says upcoming assignments. You do test.
I got it.
Okay. Thank you, Cindy.
Okay, that was my same question, Michael. Go to assignments in Canvas.
Yes. Assignments.
Okay.
You go to assignments, and it's under upcoming assignments. So that's the one where it says video, test accessibility and supports online manual. Click on that.
Oh, yeah, I did it last night. Okay, thank you.
Okay. All right. So that's where you're going to go to let me know that you did the assignment, because we don't have time to do everything in all those manuals. We still have paper manual to talk about. Right now we're just focused on online. So I need for you to, when I give you that independent work, I need for you to actually do it. Okay.
Michael,
Yes.
I'm sorry, can you tell me one more time where to go to get to that assignment?
We're going to go to assignments in Canvas, right?
Mm-hmm. Assignments, okay.
Upcoming assignments. See where it says video? You had to. Okay.
I see it, thank you.
All right, you're welcome. All right. So let's continue on with the agenda. Okay, so reminders about the following tasks. So I'm going to go to Canvas, and we're going to look at these tasks that you're supposed to be working on. So let me go ahead and leave student view. And so I'm going to the tasks. Okay, so task 13, rooms needed for testing. So I'm going to show you who submitted at this point. So let me go and click on that, because that was important. We talked about that was an assignment that was given a few weeks ago. So rooms needed for testing. These are the only schools that indicated anything: Baton Rouge High, Terre High, Liberty, Broadmoor, Woodlawn, EBR Virtual, EBR Readiness, McKinley, Scotlandville, Arlington, Northeast, Bel Air, and Glen Oaks. No other school has completed this. So if you're not on this list, you need to make sure you do this, because IT needs to know where the rooms are for them to download that test nav. Now, April Dennis.
Yes.
Okay, April, your school does not have contract with our IT department, so your IT person will have to download TestNav.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Okay, so make sure, if for those of you that haven't completed this yet, if you still need the Google form, let me go ahead and put it in the copy link. So I'm going ahead and put the Google form in the chat, just in case you're on here and you are one of those that haven't completed it yet. So I'll put the link to that Google form in the chat. All right, so make sure that's done because IT needs that information because they have to go. No, you don't have to. Wait, do I still need to complete the form? No, April. April, don't complete the form because they're not going to go to your school. It's your school doesn't have a contract with our IT department. All right. You're welcome. Okay, so let's go now to the other task. So that was that. I'll go ahead and X out here. Let's see, that's a sign-in sheet. All of you signed in? Anyone not signed in? If you, I think the link may still be in chat if you scroll up. It should still be in chat. All right, so let me go ahead and X out of that. There are so many things open. Good Lord. Okay, so let me go back to the agenda. Move this over. All right, so let's talk about the enroll, unenroll. All right, so I'm gonna move this over. I'm gonna go back to that task. So that's task number 14. All right, so enroll, unenroll. I'm gonna ask a question. See if you remember. All right, Ms. Veal, it's on you again. Are you there?
Yes,
Okay, Ms. Veal, when would you unenroll a student? Under what circumstance would you unenroll a student?
normally if the student has dropped from your school.
Very good, and that's good. Let me ask, still on this. Thank you, Ms. Veal.
You're welcome.
Ms. Ruffin. Ms. Ruffin? Karen,
Sir?
okay, Karen Ruffin. For the enroll, unenroll, when would you enroll a student?
Anytime doing testing, we can enroll them the day of testing if they enrolled in our school the day before.
Okay, all right. Now, here's another question to anybody, and you can come off mute if you want to. Will you unenroll a Leap Connect student?
No.
No,
sir.
do not unenroll a Leap Connect student. Will a Leap Connect student take the ACT test?
No.
Nope. So remember, at the end of testing, you're going to go in and you're going to explain why a student that's in PA Next did not take the test. And so for the Leap Connect students, you're going to indicate that that student is a Leap Connect student. All right, thank you. All right, so that's task 14. Any questions on task 14?
Hey, Michael, I had 4 students that were duplicates on my enrolls. I had to unenroll them. And 2 of those who were enrolled were children who had accommodations, but they were duplicates.
I'm not sure what you're saying.
Their names appeared twice in my roll.
In PA Next?
Yes. And then 2 of them had the wrong birthday.
Okay, so I need for you to call ACT and fix that. Did you?
I did.
All right, you did?
I did.
Did they fix it?
Yeah. They told me to send in the unenrolled, so I did that.
Okay, all right. Now, when was this done?
Yesterday.
Did you go back in to verify that it's been fixed?
I hadn't had a chance yet, but I will do that while we're talking.
Now usually when you do it, when they have to manually do it themselves, it's probably not right away. So it may take 2 or 3 more days. But you still have a lot of time to check this. All right.
Okay.
But thank you for bringing that up because I didn't hear from anybody else that there were duplicates.
Yeah.
All right. So that's number 14. Okay, number 15. We talked about last time. We talked about providing students with that. This is number 15. Providing students. I'm gonna go ahead and open it up with the directions on how to prepare for the ACT using TestNav. All right, so I'm just going to ask a blanket statement and anyone can respond. Did any of you provide students with that information yet?
No.
No,
All right, are y'all planning to?
I sent it to the English teachers to start doing it, but I don't know if they started it yet.
All right, just check back with them because it's important, right? So why is it important that students get this information? Anyone?
So
So they can practice.
For practice, yes. And then remember, they're not only practicing for ACT, the items, but also for those students that are going to take it online, they need to know how to navigate all that stuff, all the tools that they have available to them in TestNav. If they have never even gone into TestNav before test day, they're not going to do well in that test because they're not going to know how to navigate anything. Okay. All right. So I need for y'all to start thinking about how you're going to provide this to the students. Mr. Odom said he's asking his English teachers to do that. The other thing that y'all need to do is make sure that students go, they all have a Chromebook, make sure that students go into their Chromebook, and we talked about this last time, in that little kiosk icon, click on TestNav, and then make sure when they go to the practice test that there are no issues. If they have any issues, you have to do an IT help desk ticket. Now, April Dennis, your IT person has to deal with those issues.
Yes, sir. I've got with them already, and we started pushing and testing them out on our Chromebooks already.
All right, thank you. Thank you. All right, so that was task 15. Any questions on that task that you had to do?
I have a question, Mr. Doze. I'm sorry.
You can call me whatever you want.
If we go into TestNav and there are practice tests, do we know if those tests like regenerate like once?
No, it's the same test. No.
Okay.
It's the same, and those are actually.
So once the teacher has given like the English 1 practice test, I think they have them timed and untimed.
Mm-hmm.
They won't be able to give it to them again prior to the ACT code.
No, it's the same test. And those are actually tests that was given before on an ACT test. So it's actually a good practice for them.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. That's a good question. Okay, number 16. We talked about the qualified exceptions to the deadline for ACT authorized accommodations. So if I click on the down arrow, remember the window is January 17th through March 4th. So just see real quick if any of you remember. Let's see. Glen Oaks. Brian. Hey, Brian.
Yeah.
So for task number 16, the qualified exceptions to the deadline, can you give me an example of a situation where you would use this form?
A late enrollment, a student that just enrolled in your school.
Very good. All right. Thank you, Brian. Awesome. You did an awesome job. All right. So let me go ahead and download this. Y'all are doing great. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and expand it. All right. So remember, right here, and y'all can't see it being highlighted, but it says to complete this completed form must be submitted in TAA along with all the required information and documentation by the deadline published in your schedule of events, and the deadline is March 4th. All right, so here's the only criteria. There are 4 or 5 of them. Number 1, students transfer to our school after the published accommodation support request deadline, and that's what Brian mentioned. Thank you, Brian, for that. The other one, student was classified in a new grade level after the published accommodation support request deadline. For example, went from 10th grade to 11th grade. The next one, student was evaluated, given a new diagnosis, and started on a new accommodation support plan after the published accommodation support request deadline. And this one, student was identified as an English learner and started receiving language supports after the published accommodation support request deadline. And then finally, student had a medical emergency or the sudden onset of a medical condition after the published accommodation support deadline. Okay? All right, so remember we'll go ahead and X out of that. The deadline is March 4th. Okay. Now, all of you received the match no match list. Is there anyone did not receive the match no match list? Now, I shouldn't say all of you. I apologize. Not all of you. It was only sent to the test coordinator, not the backup. Did the test coordinator, and in Liberty's case, that would have been, since Fanny's not here, that would have been Miss Albert. And in Northeast's case, that would have been Ms. Brown. Ms. Brown, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Did
I'm
you
here.
did you get that match no match list?
Yes, she emailed it to me on Tuesday.
Oh, great. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that down arrow. Okay, still turning. All right, here we go. So that was task 17. So it said this. All right, so this list contains seniors with an ACT score, and the highest is the one that's listed, and seniors without an ACT score. The match list consists of students with an ACT score. The no match list consists of students without an ACT score. And here was the objective. For those students on the no match list, seniors who do not have an ACT score, you will need to check to see if that student is in PA Next. LDOE will upload the juniors and seniors without an ACT score soon, and they've already done that. So here's my question, all right? And I apologize for this. Let's see who I'm going to ask this to. Oh, Lord, Karen. Hey, Karen.
Sir?
All right, Karen. Did you go into PA Next? Did you go to PA Next and verify that those students that were on the no match list have been uploaded by LDOE?
No, sir, haven't gotten to it yet. I'm putting in grades for my classes.
Okay, so you're going to do this, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm going to ask another person. Let's see. Baton Rouge High. Michael Davis.
What you got?
All right, Mike. I'm going to ask you this question. The same question I asked Miss Ruffin. You remember the and you got the match no match list, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did you when the state uploaded the junior and seniors, and I understand to you and Miss Ruffin, to everyone else, that they did it late and it was done this week. But have you gone yet and verified that those seniors without an ACT score were uploaded by LDOE?
Yes, sir. My one.
All right. Thank you, Mike. You did a great job. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. All right. Now the next sentence. Once LDOE uploads the juniors and seniors without an ACT score, you will need to verify the no match list against the students in PA Next. If a senior is on the no match list and not in PA Next, you will need to submit the SDU file to enroll that student. So notice the SDU, not the enroll, the SDU. Okay? And then information to complete upload the SDU file was in a previous task. All right, great. Thank y'all. All right, any questions on task 17 before I move on?
Michael.
Huh? Yeah, Ms. Veal. What's up?
I actually have a question about the previous qualified exception to the deadline.
Okay.
I actually have a student who was just reclassified as a junior today. But when I go to the enrollment history, it makes it look like she's been a junior since the beginning of the school year. Is that going to be a problem with ACT?
It may be. So if that student, so explain to me. So that student came to your school just now?
No, she's been here. And the question was coming up because the student kept coming to me saying she was a junior. I said, no, baby, you're a 10th grader. So I finally connected with her counselor. So the counselor came to me this morning and said that she has reclassified her as a junior. But when I look at her enrollment history, it makes it look like she's been a junior since the beginning of the school year.
Yeah.
And I thought it showed that she reclassified her today.
Yeah, that's going to be an issue because I'm not sure why. So look, the student was classified to new grade level after the published accommodations per request deadline.
Mhm.
So you're going to need indicate the new grade level and the date of reclassification. They're not asking, nowhere in here did it say, well, they did up here, right here, along with required information documentation. But that is the accommodation forms. I don't know, Ms. Veal. I would go ahead and submit this and see what happens. But you need to ask this question. If the counselor was indicating the student was a 10th grade, then why all of a sudden is it indicating that the student was 11th grade all along?
Okay, I'll find out. Like I said, I don't know because the student has been going backwards and forth with me saying that she was a junior, and I kept telling her that was something she was going to have to check with her counselor. But because she does need those accommodations, I finally went to the counselor and asked her about it because I knew the deadline was coming up.
All right. When the state uploaded the juniors, did you go in and verify if she was there or not?
Her name is not on there.
Okay, so then according to the state, around October or so, or early November,
she was a sophomore.
Yeah, the student was not indicated by LDOE that she was a junior.
Mm-hmm.
If you can go ahead and somehow have the guidance counselor change the date of when the student reclassified, that would help.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. But go ahead and fill that form out and send it in quickly with the accommodation information that's needed.
Yeah, well, she actually has accommodations
already approved.
Yeah, because she took it in December.
Okay, so you just got to go in and change the date.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I still have to send this form. Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Well, no. Hey.
You
don't. No, this form is only if you're requesting new accommodations. The student already has accommodations, right?
He does already have accommodations, but she was.
You don't need this. The student's already been approved.
Okay.
Yes, all you got to do is just go in, change the date, right? And then you got to go in now and do that SDU file for that student.
Okay, I wasn't sure because when she took the test on the national test date for December, she was still classified as a sophomore.
It doesn't matter. You're all.
Oh, okay.
TAA is only for accommodations. Doesn't matter the grade level. You submitted the accommodations.
Okay, I see what you're
saying. So it's approved.
So when I go in and change her to the date to match her to spring, it asks for reconsideration.
It shouldn't.
We can go over this. I think it does, but we can go over this later after the meeting because I don't want to hold everyone up.
Okay.
But I'm almost sure it's asking me because the only date it will allow me to click on now says qualified exceptions to the deadline when I go in to try to match her to the date.
So maybe, okay.
Yeah.
All right, so maybe it's too late to change the date in TAA.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Without sending this form.
Yeah, and I would also call the accommodations line to get help.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
All right.
Will do.
All
Thank
right.
you.
And then let me know what happens.
I will.
Okay, so, yes.
Michael, this is Andrea. Could you go back and for PA Next and show me the website that I need to go to?
Well,
I
who's this?
saved Andrea, not Dale.
I
saved my links, but again, I'm
You
new,
have to
so
go.
I'm not sure.
You have
So
to
give
go to
me-
success.act.org, right? Did you go there?
No, I didn't know where to go. I know you said I need to be in PA Next. So I
Okay,
just
Ms.
need to see the
Griffin.
web-
Ms. Griffin,
I'm listening.
have you ever gone into TAA and submitted requests?
Okay, is it in Success or it's in?
You're going to go to success.act.org, but I'm asking you, did you go in? Have you ever gone into TAA and submit this request for students needing accommodations?
That is correct. Yes, I have.
Okay, so you go to
Yeah,
success.act.org.
Okay, and
you sign in right here.
Okay, I
That's where
signed
you've
in.
always gone.
Okay.
And then you're
I
going to see
signed
TAA.
Yes. Okay.
Click on that. Okay. Okay.
All right. I clicked on that, and then I can move forward. So
Just like you did before. It's the same process you did last month.
all right.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Okay. So let me go ahead and X out of that. All right. Let me go back to. All right. So number 18. So I think 18 is new. So let's talk about that. All right. And I sent you all an email this week asking you to do this. No, 18 is not new. I'm sorry. 18, verifying correct student information in PA Next. That is a lengthy one because when you click on 18, and I'm doing the down arrow, it's still turning. When you click on 18, you've got to go in for every junior, every senior in PA Next, and you have to verify their information. You got to verify the name's correct, the gender's correct, the last name's correct, the LACIT's correct, the middle initial. Notice there's no asterisk, so you don't need a middle initial. Only the asterisk is what you have to fix. So the first name fixed, the last name only with an asterisk. Check the last name, check the student ID, and the date of birth, and the actual grade of the student. So those are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those are 5 things that need to be checked. And then if there are any changes, make sure you click on Save. Now, Mr. Odom started doing his. Mr. Odom,
Okay.
Can you explain why you had to change, let's say, a first name on a student?
I haven't had to change the first name, but
The last name? The last name, okay.
For my ESL students,
Yeah.
I submitted them one way, which is the first last name. Well, actually, I did some of them with both. But it's not when you get ready to start linking your accommodations to PA Next from TAA. If what you submitted in TAA has a space in between, let's say Hernandez Gonzalez, you got to put a space in between it in PA Next and save it. But another issue I ran into yesterday is that it's only 16 characters. I got about 3 kids that I can't change. I can't put a space in between the name. So I'm about to call ACT to see what to do.
Yeah, if there's a limit on the number of characters, there's probably nothing you can do. But go ahead.
It's not a limit in TAA, but it's a limit in
PA Next.
PA Next.
Yeah. So call ACT and find out, and then let me know, and then we'll talk about it at our next meeting on Thursday.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
So Michael, is he talking about like students we submitted, or let's say ACT uploaded their names?
It could be both.
So, the state uploaded what's in J Campus, you know, as in having LEAP, where they put the name all together.
Yeah.
Regardless of 2 different names, that's how I submitted in PA Next. So if you spaced it in TA when you submitted it, you got to go in PA Next on the first edit, and you have to edit the name and put a space in it and save it, and then link the accommodations. If not, it's not gonna find it.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, the names in TAA and the name in PA Next apparently have to match. Okay. All right. So that was task 18. And any of those things with an asterisk are editable. So if you see that a student has the wrong grade level, you need to change it. If the student's last name is misspelled, or the date of birth's incorrect, or the LACID's incorrect, you can fix it here. Okay. All right. So that one is a long one because Baton Rouge High has over 600 students. So Michael's going to be
700.
700 students. So Michael's is going to be spending a lot of hours on this probably, or getting guidance counselors to help.
Is this because of the online? Because I've never done this.
No, you've done that before. It was a task last year.
Okay.
So Ms. Veal, if you're indicating you didn't do some of my tasks last year.
I did your test, but I'd never separated those kids' names like that. I checked.
Oh, no. It maybe you never had that issue, but ever is. So it could be that others of you won't have that issue.
And some of them, they've already linked some of them. Some of the names have been linked. When I got some of them this morning, they were automatically done.
No, but Ms. Veal, this task you had to do regardless of whether you were linking the pins or not. You had to actually go in and verify the information is correct.
Yeah, now I've done that,
Yeah.
but like I say, I've never separated those kids' names before. I didn't know that was going to be an issue. That's why I was asking, was this something to do with the online? Because I've done what Everett had said, accidentally mixed the names up, had the first name as the last name and so forth, but I've never separated the kids, like the Spanish kids' names. I've never done that before.
No.
It's because it's linking the accommodations. That's why we're having to do it.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So just keep working on that, and thank you, Michael, for your comment. All right. So that is number 18. Okay. Now 19 and 20 are new. I sent you that in this week. So there's a video I sent you as well that discusses 19 and 20. So I'm going to open up number 19. So you have to verify enrollment counts. Okay, that's important. So here are the directions. All right, so I'm going to show you where to go to verify enrollment counts. So let me go back into testadmin.act.org. I'm going to go and sign in. Okay. All right. So, real quick, bear with me for one moment. All right. So let's see. I'm going to call in someone. Make sure they're paying attention. Miss Dennis. Miss Dennis, you there?
Yes.
Okay. Miss Dennis, did you do that task yet? Number 19.
No, sir, I have not.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you for being honest. Let's see. Miss Griffin. Andrea Griffin. Andrea Griffin. Anyone from Northdale? Okay, no telling what happened. Let me try one more. So Ms. Griffin didn't answer. Okay, EBR virtual. Ms. Grimmer or Ms. Lodge, either one, doesn't matter. Ms. Grimmer, Ms. Lodge. Hello?
I hadn't done the task.
Okay, so I'm just going to rephrase this. Has anyone done this task or started?
Michael?
Yes.
I started the task. So when I have 483 students, but when I click on it, I can't see all of them.
Okay.
And I don't know how to expand it either.
All right, so let's go to, let's see. I'm going to your school. So I'm going to Liberty, and I can't open it up because it's usually going to show up and it's being recorded. So you're going to go to setup, and oops, sorry, wrong one. Let's see. Let's go to organizations, and then we're going to Liberty. To start, I'm going to click on all task. All right, so edit enrollment counts. All right, so I'm going to go to that little plus sign. And so you clicked on this, right? Miss Albert, you clicked on 469, correct? Hello? Was it Miss Albert?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you clicked on 469, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so when you click on it, I'm not going to click on it because the names are going to show up. But when you click on it at the bottom, there's a it may say 100 or something like that, or 50. There's a drop-down menu that you can click on to add more students to that page. Do you see it?
Yes.
Okay. So you got that now?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. All right. And it may be that it may only be able to allow 300 students to the page. Just use the arrow. I think there are 2 arrows as well. One to the right, one to the left.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, you're welcome. All right. But Miss Albert has to do this, all of you, and those of you that hadn't started, make sure you're looking at the directions for task number 19 and 20. So when I go to accommodations, I'm clicking on accommodations as well. Notice that right now there are 14 accommodated students, or 14 students taking the accommodations online, and 13 taking it on paper. And there's one that needs an audio kit. So what you'll have to do is click on each of those links. Click each of those links, and the names will show up. Make sure that those names actually are correct, that those are the students that actually have that accommodation. For the online, those juniors, the juniors that the state uploaded, some of those have accommodations. You have to go in and link the PIN numbers to that, and that's task number 20. And then the seniors that the state uploaded, the ones that did not have an ACT score, some of those may have accommodations as well. So you need to go in and link those PIN numbers for them as well. All right, so that's a major task that you have to do, because if you don't do this task, the students will be taking the test online. I'm sorry, yeah, online, and they'll take a standard time test.
Michael?
Yes.
Yesterday, ACT approved over the phone the transfer of accommodations for a student. Is there anything I need to do next, or is
you got to go in here, and do you remember if it was paper or online?
It's going to be paper.
Okay, you need to go in that. See where it says 13. You need to go and check and see if that student's in there. All right, the student's not in there. Call ACT again and indicate when you go to PA Next, you don't see the student at all. Do you see the student?
I'm not in there at the moment.
Okay.
So if I don't see the student, I call ACT back.
Well, I would also check the online up here and see if the student's in there as well. If the student's still in there, then ACT did not provide the accommodations. You need to call.
Okay.
All right. Okay, someone has their hand raised. Let's see who it is. Miss Wells, you have a question? Miss Wells. Hello?
Yeah, disconnected for a second.
All right, so let me go ahead and see if I can put her hand down. Lower hand. Okay. All right, exit. Let me exit out of this. So that was task 19, but you also have to do task 20. So let me go back to those tasks. So 19 and 20 go together. Now, I sent you the linking the pins in a previous task last month for the seniors you've already uploaded. So it's the same idea. You just got to go in and link their PIN numbers into PA Next and make sure that everything is correct. All right, any questions on that? Anyone? It's a lot of stuff. You got to keep up with this. It'll overwhelm you. Okay, so now number 6, setting up test sessions. So last week, we went in and created test sessions and we assigned students to test sessions. Remember that? Okay. And you're going to go into training.testadmin.act.org. So I need you to go there now. So all of you on that other computer, remember I asked you to have 2 computers. One where you're watching the meeting and the other one where you can actually do some work in PA Next, in training.testadmin.act.org, and so on. So I need you to go to training.testadmin.act.org. So please do that now. I'm going to ask some questions. All right, Ms. Green, Tenaria Green. Ms. Green? Tenaria Green. Okay, is Ms. Green still on? Let me check. Y'all got to answer when I call on y'all. Tenaria Green is no longer on. Okay. Interesting. All right, so I'll remove her from the list.
She says she doesn't have a mic.
She checked in the chat that she
doesn't
said.
have a mic.
No, she's not on there anymore. I know she doesn't have a mic, but she logged out.
She just answered at 10:03.
She's in the chat.
Here.
Why is she not in the list?
She's on the chat saying she's on.
Okay.
I can hear you.
All right, let me check the chat. Okay, Ms. Green, did you start creating test sessions in the training? No, I haven't. Okay, so you need to do that because you're going to have to go in and train your room supervisors how to do this, and you're going to have to do a mock administration. All right. So Katina, you said you did. Thank you. So Katina, I'm going to ask you this question, and I asked you to think about how you're going to name those sessions. Have you thought about how to name the sessions? And please don't type it in. I'd prefer you, if you have a mic, to speak.
I did. I just put in ELA1 just to see if I was able to go through the that page of the ACT training, and I did. I was so happy, and I was able to put a student in.
Well,
I was so happy.
Well, good. Michael Davis is asking, is there anything that keeps us from creating all the sessions rather than expecting TAs to do it? What do you mean by creating, Mike? And get go ahead and use.
Well, you were just saying we needed to train the TAs, the room supervisors, to be able to create these sessions. Well, can't we just create?
Oh, no. I'm sorry. I misspoke if I said that. What I meant was you need to create. The room supervisors are going to need access to those test sessions because they're the ones that are going to go in and unlock the test and get the seal codes. That's what I meant. No, you're responsible. You are responsible for creating the test sessions. I apologize if I said anything different. Thank you. You're responsible for creating the test sessions. What I was trying to tell Ms. Green is that she needs to know how to create those test sessions because she's also going to have to train her room supervisors on how to do things inside those test sessions for the mock administration. That's what I meant to say. All right, so here's what I want you to do. So I'm going to go to Baton Rouge. Well, I don't know if I can go to Baton Rouge High School. Let me see. Oops, what happened? Okay, so let me go to Baton Rouge High School and see what Mike did. Oh, I'm not in training. Let me go to training. So I'm going to training. So let's see,
I
training.
haven't made any, Mike.
Oh, you didn't? Okay, so
Nope.
here's what I want y'all to do now. Okay, I need for y'all to create about 4 sessions. I need you to create 4 sessions. And as you're creating them, I want you to think about the different online scenarios you're going to have. You're going to have standard time sessions that you have to create. You may have time and code 2 sessions, time and code 3 sessions, time and code 6 sessions. And when we talked about this last time, remember your room supervisors have to go in to do some things with their session on test day. So it's a good idea to name your sessions, to name the sessions with the room supervisor's last name in it. So for example, let me go in and remind you how to do that. Okay, I'm not going to call on someone. Does anyone want to walk me through the step on how to create a test session? Anybody? Anyone remember?
I think I went through testing.
Okay, good. Go ahead, Katina. What else?
Let me
Set up.
Sessions, right? And then what else? Yeah, you went to task pane, right?
I went to task, and I went to create edit sessions.
Create edit sessions, and then start.
Start.
All right, and then anything with an asterisk.
I put in a session name.
Yes. Okay. So here's Katina. You can go ahead and mute yourself. Thank you though. Thank you so much for helping. So the session name, you could call it time and code 1, and then the last name, and then if you want to put the room number, you can. So room 12 or something like that. It's a good idea to use the room supervisor's last name so they'll know which session is theirs. And then the organization, add an organization. I don't want to add anything to Michael's school. I'm just going to go ahead and put it in the career tech school. And then the the test assigned has to be multiple choice, ACT. Ms. Lodge, you have a question?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Is it necessary to put the timing code into the session name?
No, but I would, to help me as a test coordinator, know that these students in that room are standard time students. Timing code 6, I know that these students in that room, if I use the timing code 6 acronym, I know that those are students that have to take the test in 1 day, time and a half. So it's more for you to know which timing codes, which times, and how many sittings there are for those students.
Okay, thank you.
Scheduled start date, that's the date in which in this case is timing code 1, so standard time, in which you're given the standard time test. If you're given a multiple day test, what date should you use? Let's say you give it on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Which date should you put there? Do y'all remember?
The Thursday?
Oh, no.
No. The testing window date?
No. All right, continue. You put the first date of testing. Okay, so if I said Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, give it on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, then you're going to put the Tuesday dates on here. Okay. So if it's a multiple day test, the start date is the date of that first test. Okay, so let's say it is today. I'm going to put today. And then for mock administration, all of you have to do a mock administration. You're going to keep it a mock administration. The scheduled start time, leave it as 1 a.m. even when you create your own sessions in PA Next. And then I would, you can go ahead and add, and oh, by the way, we're not doing pre-caching, so don't worry about that. And you can add your students now, but it's not easy to add the students this way. It's just notice there's no box next to those names, so you have to click on each one individually. So I would not do it that way. I would just go ahead and create the session. So click on create, and notice the sessions created. Okay. Now, let's say you created your sessions, and so the next day you want to go in and put your students in those sessions. So then you're going to go to testing. You're going to go to sessions, and it's still, let's see, I went to, why is it not? Let me go back to the school I put it in. Let's go to Career Tech. All right, so there we go. I had to go to the school. All right, so the one I just created was this one right here. Timing code 1, Dozat room 1, room 12. All right, so if I want to put students in that session, I got to click on the little box. Then I go to show students in sessions and control sessions. Then click on this, see the session list? There's the name, click on that. And then I go to the task pane, and then I add students to sessions right here, and then start. And watch how simple this is. You got to go to the session list, click the name, and then right here you can either type in the student's last name, or you can just do search, show results, and there's a little box. So you click on all the boxes that you need, of all the boxes of each student you need in that session, and then you click on add right here. And now change your save, so I'm going to exit, and there are the students that I just added. All right, so we talked about that last time, so that's what we did last time. So what I want you to do is, for about 5 minutes or so, I need for you to practice creating at least 4 test sessions and putting about 3 to 5 students in each one of those. All right, so let's go ahead and do that. So create about 4 test sessions and put in 3 to 5 students. Only 3 to 5. Don't put more than 5 because we're gonna need more test sessions for the mock administration. So only use those. All right, so go ahead and do that now. I'm going to pause the recording and then let you work for 5 minutes creating a test session.
Michael, how'd you get that drop-down list of students?
Right here. Okay, so let me go back. So I'm going back to setup. I'm sorry, I'm going back to testing, sessions. All right, so first of all, you're going to click on the session you just created, right? So I created that session. I'm going to go to the pane right here. Show students in sessions, control sessions. Click on my name in the session list. And up here, go to add students to sessions. See that? Start. Then go to session. Click on your session. You want to add students in. And then you see that little search right here, that drop down, Everett? You see where it says show all results? You see that? Click on that, yes. And the students are listed. All right, and you got to notice there are multiple pages. So you go to page 2, page 3. There is no easy way to go through the pages. You have to go one by one like that. But you can, if you have a list of students, let's say there are 15 students in that room, you can just type in the last name and then click on it and add. But I don't know how easy that is if you only do one at a time. All right, so go ahead and create 4 sessions, and then go back and add 3 to 5 students in those sessions. All right, so remember, just like last time, you go to training.act.org, training.testadmin.act.org. So that's the training site. All right, when you created your sessions and added 3 to 5 students, go ahead and raise your hand so I know you're done. Raise your hand so I know you're done. Thank you, Ms. Banga.
Mr. Dozak, it's not allowing me to log in, and for some unknown reason, I've been locked out of my ACT account. Because I put in too many different passwords.
Jesus.
So I got to contact them to unlock my account.
No, hold on. Jesus, Karen.
Yeah. I'm here.
Look, I was actually putting your name up here, Karen. Man. All right, so let me see if I can do anything. So I'm going to Bel Air High School. The rest of you still work on creating those test sessions, please. Let's see, users. All right. Oh, Karen, you are disabled probably. That didn't help. And okay, let's try this. Organization, Bel Air. Okay, so that's not where I go. No, Karen, you're not enabled. I mean, you're not disabled, so you just got to go back and change your password. Karen Ruffin.
Yes, sir.
You're enabled, so I'm thinking all you need to do is just go back and change your password.
Okay. Thanks.
Hey, Michael,
Yeah.
This is Brian. I'm having trouble finding I can get to where it says add session, but create session. How did you get to that button to create session?
Okay, so let me go back to the training. All right, so you're going to go to setup. I'm sorry. You're going to go to testing. You went to sessions, right?
Okay, hold on. So setup, go to
Sessions.
under setup.
Go to testing. Okay.
Okay,
Then go to sessions.
gotcha.
All right. So then you're going to go to that tasks pane right here that I'm circling. See that? First one says create edit.
I've got, my first one says delete session, add, remove students, or generate tickets. I don't have create or edit sessions.
Neither do I.
I'm having the same issue as well.
It's supposed to match whatever permissions you have in regular PA Next. Let's see. I just don't know. Users.
I'm actually in regular PA Next because I can't get the
No.
admin.
You don't want to go to. Okay. Do not go to PA Next to create sessions. You need to be in training.
I can't get that to work.
You're probably going to have to.
But I still don't have the tab to create new sessions. Mine starts with delete sessions.
In training, is that correct?
No.
Okay, so listen to me, guys. Brian, where are you? Were you in training, or were you in PA Next? Brian. Okay, you're supposed to be in training. PA Next is not open yet to create sessions, so maybe that's where you're at. You're supposed to be in training. I said go to training.testadmin.act.org. PA Next right now does not have create because the ability to create sessions is not open yet. It opens at the end of January. So, Miss Albert, were you in PA Next or were you in training?
I can't get into the training site. I was in the regular PA Next.
Okay, so no, don't go into PA Next. You need to go into training.
I know, I just can't get in it.
Okay, call me after so we can figure out why you cannot do that, okay? So let me see. Let me see if I can find your name in this list.
You checked it already. You said it was nothing wrong with it. And I don't know, my login works for PA Next. You said to use the same login,
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
It just doesn't work. But I logged
Do you see?
I logged into PA Next just to make sure my login was correct, and I was able to access it and get in. But it just does not work on the training
Well, I don't even
site.
see you on the training site. Where were you in the training site?
Sir?
I don't see you on the training site. These are the names on the training site. So let me try something.
Yeah, I'm not in. I can't log in.
Okay, hold on, okay? That's because you probably are not on the training site. Let me see. Okay, once y'all created the 4 sessions in training, let me know. Raise your hand. So 3 people have completed it.
I will, but I bet they can. I bet there's some loopholes, especially because it's optional, if I bet for the testing, I just don't want to talk specifically. I mean, the guidance does say that they can't be penalized. No, because they all close to each other and they're sending far, so it's probably.
Miss Albert, what is your email address?
Oh, Albert.
Is that how you spell your name? O-N-E-A? Is that correct?
Is that correct? O-N-E.
Okay. The user already exists. Okay, you were disabled. So let me go ahead and enable you. And then save. All right, so you were disabled in training. So let me go ahead. So now go back in and do this. Okay, anyone else that cannot get into training? Brian, are you still there?
Yeah, I've just got one more session left to make and I'll be all done.
So you're able to get into training now. Is that correct?
Yeah, I'm there.
Okay, thank you.
Michael, I think I'm missing a step. I'm only finding 6 students that's popping up. Can you walk me through it again?
Okay, so you're going to go to testing. Let me go to my school so I don't mess up anybody else's. All right, go to testing. Well, let me see if I can go to your school, okay? So I'm going to go to Broadmoor, and I'm going to go to testing sessions. So these are the ones you create. Is that correct? So I guess you're trying to put something in Gordon Standard? Is that what you're trying to do? Mr. Odom?
Yes, that's correct.
All right, so you're going to click on this, right? Tell me what's the next step to do. What do you think it is?
Going to the task pane at the top.
Yep. And then what?
Show students and sessions and control sessions.
That's correct. Good. What else?
And that's why I got lost there.
See where the session list is right here that I'm circling? Click on this. Click on Gordon Standard right here. And now you saw this thing appear down here. Okay? Then you're going to go up here, the task pane again. You're going to click on Add Students to Sessions. and then start. Now, when I get to that point, tell me where to go. Where do you think you're going to go?
Search.
No, not there yet. You got to go find a session. Go here.
Garden session.
Yep. And then search all results, and there you go. Okay? You got it?
Okay. Yeah.
All right, good. I know it takes some practice. You got to do a couple before you understand the process. Thank you, Brian, for completing yours. Michael, how are you on this? Thank you, Peggy. Michael Davis. Michael Davis.
Yes.
April, you have a question?
No, I thought you called.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Miss Albert, were you able to get in?
I'm working on it.
Were you able to get in yet?
No.
No? No, you... Okay. Thank you, Miss Lodge.
Can you go to my school,
Who's asking?
Michael, to see if you see, this is Ms. Lodge.
Okay, so let's see.
I put one student in, but I cannot get back to the student.
All right, so I'm going to your sessions. So these are the sessions you created, right?
Yeah.
Okay, which one do you want me to look at?
Look at standard time,
Best?
one best.
Okay, so you click on the box, right? And before I go anywhere else, what do you want to do? You want to add students, or you want to see the students that's in there?
I want to see the students that's in there.
Okay, so you can go to task pane. You're going to select show students in sessions and control sessions. Okay, when you do that, you're on the session list. You got to click on your session list name right here, and now that student shows up. You see it?
Okay.
All right. Now tell me what to do if you want to add, let's say, another student to this list. What would you do?
I would have to go back up to task.
Very good. And then do what?
And go to add students to session.
Very good. Then what?
Start.
Very good. Now what?
I would go up to the top where it says session.
Very good. You're getting there.
Click on the session.
Yep. You can either type in
and find the student.
Yep. You can type the student's last name, or you can just search. And there you go. Very good. Thank you. You did a good job.
Thanks.
All right. So remember, all of you are going to be doing a mock administration. So you're going to have to create a lot more sessions for these teachers, for the room supervisors to play around with. All right. Thank you, Mr.
Excuse me, Mr.
Odom. What was the question?
Excuse me, Mr. Dozak, could you walk through that procedure again? I was able to get into the training, and I've gone in and created some sessions. How do I go and pull the students' names up again?
Okay.
Thanks.
All right, Karen, let me find your school. All right, so to get to your session list, you're going to go to testing, click on sessions. Those are the sessions you created. Which one do you want to look at? Karen? Karen?
The first one.
Okay. All right, so you want to add students to this list, or you just want to see the students?
Just want to see the students.
Okay, so Miss Lodge, you there? Miss Lodge.
Yes, I'm
Okay,
here.
so you know how to do this now. So Karen wants to see the students in the list. So I clicked on the little box. Where do I need to go next?
She needs to go to select task.
Okay. What else?
And she wants to you said she wants to see the students?
Yep. Yes.
Okay, we're gonna go to the blue where it says show students in sessions.
Okay.
And click on the session list.
So there are the students, Karen.
There they are.
Right there. Now, Karen, now, Ms. Lodge, don't go away. Karen,
Okay.
what if you want to add more students? So, Ms. Lodge, what would she need to do?
She would go back up to task and select, and she would go to add student to session. Press start. She would click the session that she wants to add to and search for the student.
Yep. Okay. Thank you. You got it, Karen? Karen Ruffin.
Somewhat. Could you do it again?
Oh, Lord, Karen.
That's part of my IEP plan. What you talking about?
I need a copy. I need a copy of that IEP plan, Karen, because I don't know. I don't have a physical copy, so I need to see it. All right, Karen.
I can vouch for her, Michael.
All right. So, Karen, you're trying to add students? Is that what you're trying to do now? To add more students to this?
No, sir. I'm fine. I got it.
No. You have an IEP. You said, what is your question?
Nah, I'm fine. I was just wanting to make you laugh.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Anybody else with the question of how to create and add students? Okay. Now, so let me go back to the agenda. I'm going back to the agenda. All right, so that was number 7. So number 7, I asked you to create about 4 test sessions and place 3 to 5 in each. And as you do this, I need for you to think about how you're going to name those sessions. Okay, now the next thing I want to do is this. Suppose you name the session one way and then 2 days later you're like, okay, I need to change the teacher, or I need to change the how I name the session, however it may be. You're going to go to edit test session. So editing test session is on page 42. Mr. Odom, I'm sorry. Y'all can go ahead and put your hands down. Go ahead and put your hands down. So let me show you how to edit the test session. So that's on page 42 of the manual. So let me go to the manual and we'll go through this together. All right, so remember where the manuals are located. So the manuals, you're going to go to manuals. Here's the online administration manual. We're going to click on this. All right, I'm making it larger. And we said page 42, so it may be on page 46 on this one. All right, so that's page 41, page 42. All right, so editing a test session. All right, so those are the directions. All right, so we're going to go to, this is not training. I need to go to the one that's training. All right, so here's training. I'm going to go to mine. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is you're going to go to testing icon. You're going to go to sessions. And you're going to click next to the box that you want to change the title. So let's say I want to change the title of this one right here, Ms. Veal. All right, you're going to go to the task pane right here, and you're going to go to create edit sessions. Very easy, edit sessions, right? So go to create edit sessions, do the start, and let me go to Veal. All right, so any of these I can change. So if I want to change the teacher's name to, let's say, Davis, I can do that. All right, if I need to change the test date, I can do that. If I need to add students to this, I can do that as well. Okay, so that's the editing part. You can add students, you could change the name, you could change the date. Okay, so any questions on how to edit? Okay, that's editing. Okay, all right, now the next thing we need to talk about, so we did the editing. We need to talk about removing students from a session. So that's page 44. So removing students from a session. So let me go to page 44.
Michael, before you leave that, on this it says password. What would we use that for?
Password where?
Okay, go back to that screen you were on. When you're showing us how to edit.
Right here?
Okay, It says password and gives you a number. What do we
Oh,
use that for?
no, I'm assuming it's test nav. It's internal. Don't worry about that. You can't change it anyway. You wouldn't use it.
Okay.
You would not use it.
Okay.
Okay. But
Okay.
that's a good question. Yeah, that's probably something internal in test nav.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you though. All right. So let's talk now real quickly about removing a student. All right, and we talked briefly about that before in one of the videos. So let's go to, let me exit. Oh, and I forgot to save. I'm exiting, I forgot to save. So don't forget to save. It didn't save because it still says view. But anyway, that's how you would do it. All right, so I have some students in this one right here in Veals. So we need to remove, let's say I've decided to take a student out of this class in this session and put them in another session. So you're just gonna, to remove, you're gonna go here, and let me just go to the steps to show you real quick. So here are the steps, removing a student. That's creating, editing, deleting, assigning examinees. You already know how to do that. Removing examinees. All right, so that's removing. All right, so then you're going to click on the session you want to remove a student from. You're going to go to the task pane. You're going to select, okay, we're already in the session, so let me start over. I'm sorry. Go back to home. You're going to go to testing. I'm just following the steps. Then you go to sessions, and that's where we work. Click on the box. Then you're going to go to the task pane. You're going to go and show students in sessions and control sessions. Click on the list. The student shows up. See that? Okay. Let's say I want to remove that first student. So you click on that student right here. Click on the student. Go back to the task pane. That's the next step. And then you see where it says remove students from session right here. Right here. Click on that. Click on start. You got to go back now. So it's kind of like a circular thing. It seems never ending. Click on the student and do remove. And changes are saved. Go to exit. And the student is no longer there. So that's how you remove. So any questions on editing and removing students from a session? Please let me know. Okay. All right. Now, so that's that. Okay. Now, let's go to this. I'm gonna have to skip number 8 for right now on the agenda. I need to talk about setting up test day, setting for test day. So real quickly, I'm going to go to that video. This is setting up for test day. All of you, test coordinators have to do this part here, setting up for test day. That's important. All right, so let me go here real quick. Just bear with me. Setting up test day. All right, setting up test day. All right, so let me go ahead and show you this video. Now you gotta listen because this is gonna apply to all of you. All right, so let me go to, let me make sure I'm doing this right. Okay, so I'm gonna share the sound, and I'm gonna do this, and then I'm gonna play. All right, so listen to this carefully, guys. This applies to all of you. In this video, we're going to look at how the test coordinator is going to set up for test day. And so this is on page 45 of the online administration manual. So let's talk about preparing test sessions. So this is completed by the test coordinator from an administrative computer. And you're going to do this in Pearson Access Next. Note, these steps are performed once for each test session. Test sessions should be prepared 1 to 2 days before test day. For multiple day testing, this is performed the day before the first sitting. And so these are the steps. So step 1, you're going to select a testing icon. Step 2, you're going to select the session's title to access the session's screen. 3, you're going to check the box next to the sessions or sessions that will be administered in the upcoming days. 4, in the tasks pane, select Show Students in Sessions and Control Sessions. In the drop-down menu, the Students in Session screen appears. And then 5, use the following table to determine the next step. If you're going to prepare all sessions, then in the Sessions List pane, to select multiple sessions, select the Combined View button. Then select Prepare All Sessions button. To prepare an individual session, in the Sessions list, select a session, then select the Prepare Session button. 6, allow a few minutes, depending on the number of sessions and the size of the sessions being prepared. Then select the Refresh button. Note, the session is now marked as ready. Do not start the session until the day of testing. Okay, so now we're going to go into Pearson Access next, and we're going to perform these steps on a couple of the sessions. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to move a couple of things over. Okay, so I'm in Pearson Access Next, or at least the training part of Pearson Access Next, and 1 to 2 days before testing, the test coordinator, that is you, will have to prepare test sessions. All right, so let's talk about how to do this. All right, so remember from our steps, you're going to go to testing right here. Go to testing. Then step 2, you're going to select sessions. When you select sessions, it's still turning. All the sessions that you created will show up. All right. Now, number 3, check the box next to the session or sessions that will be administered in the upcoming days. So you see the ones that are not prepared. That's the one that's the one you're gonna see when you first give the test. It'll say not prepared. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick makeup number 2, and we're gonna pick timing code 6 VL. I'm gonna pick those two just to use in our example. All right. So once you pick the sessions that you need to prepare for the upcoming days, step 4 says go to the task pane right here. Select. So click on it, and then you're going to select Show Students in Sessions and Control Sessions right here in the drop-down menu. When you click on it, the students will show up. So you'll notice that, see where Makeup 2 is highlighted? There's one student in that class. You see the student right here? And notice there's a lock on it. If I click on TC 6 VL, there are more students there. So you see the students? They're listed down here. Okay? Now, what they're saying in number 5 is this. Use the following table to determine the next step. If you want to prepare all of these sessions right here in that session list, first and second, then they said all you have to do is click on that Combined View button right here. And when you click on the Combined View button, I want to show you something. Let me go ahead and see if I'm going to go ahead and move this a little bit further up so you can see this. All right, so I'm going to click on the Combined View button right here. And as I do that, I want you to notice the students here. So I'm going to click on the Combined View button, and then notice the students here will come from all the sessions in this session list. All right. So remember, there was only 1 in makeup, and I think there were 5 in the other sessions. So altogether, you have 6 students that you need to prepare a session for. All right. So So that's how you're going to do the combined view. Okay, and then you're going to select prepare all sessions right here. But I'm not going to do that in this example, but if you needed to, then that's what you would do. So once you did that, then it would prepare all the sessions, okay, for all these students right here. So all these students, these sessions would be prepared. All right, now if you select an individual session, which is what I'm going to do for our example, so I'm going to click on, let's say, makeup number 2, which only had 1 student. All right, so you're going to go and you're going to select prepare session. I want you to see what's going to happen. First of all, notice right here, see the student test status? There is a lock, a padlock, and it says the word ready, right? And then notice right here under the session, right next to the makeup 2, there's a circle and it's white. See that? Okay. So I'm going to click on prepare session. There's only 1 student session I need to prepare. And notice up here it says it's waiting right here, waiting. So it may take, depending on how many students and how many sessions you need to do, it could take 1 to 2 minutes. But it's still waiting. It's preparing, it's waiting. Again, notice the circle. See how it's blue now? All right. Well, okay, it's now ready. And now look at the session circle. So it's now gray. It's not white anymore, right? And then it still says ready with a padlock. Okay? All right. So now this session, makeup number 2, is now ready. That session is ready. Okay? All right. All you need to do the day of is the next part, which is to start the session. All right, so now you all know how to prepare a session. Okay, so that session is prepared. Now, I'm going to go back. I want to show you something. I'm going to go back to the testing icon right here. I'm going to go to sessions. And you remember that makeup right here? It now says ready. It's not the word not prepared, right? It now says ready. So that session is ready. And the morning of is where you're going to start that session. All right, so let's talk about that. All right, so that was how you're going to prepare a test session. So when you prepare a test session, it's going to say the word ready. It will say the word ready, okay? Okay, so now that you prepared the test session 1 to 2 days before the test, then you have to start the test session. And that is completed by the test coordinator. And you're going to do this in Pearson Access Next. Note, on the morning of test day, this task is performed once for each test session. It must be done before the room supervisors can unlock their sessions. For multiple day testing, this is performed on the day of the first sitting. Okay, these are the steps. Step 1, select the testing icon. Step 2, select the session's title to activate the session's screen. 3, check the box next to the session or sessions that will be administered today. 4, in the task pane, select Show Students in Sessions and Control Sessions. In the drop-down menu, the Students in Sessions screen appears. 5, choose the session from the left-hand side of the screen. The Start Session button appears. And finally, step 6, select the Start Session button for each test session on each day of testing. Note, the test session is now marked as in progress. Bullet number 2, the Start Session button becomes a Stop Session button. You now have a padlock next to the test. And the last bullet in number 6, in the examinee pane, notice the student test status is marked as ready, but has a padlock. This means the test is locked. To see unlock a test session on page 57 for instructions. So remember, the room supervisor is going to unlock a test session. All right, so let's look at it at an example where we're going to start a test session. Okay, so now on the morning of test day, you now have to go in and start the test session. The test session must be started before the room supervisor can unlock a test session. All right, so let's go through the process. So to start a test session, we're going to go to testing. Then you're going to click on sessions. Okay. Now all your sessions showed up. All right. Now remember, the test session must be prepared, right? First. So you did that yesterday or the day before. So whenever you did that, the word ready under session status is now showing. So there are two that are ready. We now have to start the session. So I'm going to go ahead and click on those two. So you see the little check boxes I'm putting in? So those two are ready, and those are the ones I'm going to test that morning. So I'm going to click on, check off those two test sessions. And then we're going to go, step number 4, you're going to go to the task pane. You're going to select show students in sessions and control sessions. All right, when you click on that, the students in sessions screen appears. So you see this makeup on 11021 is highlighted. Notice there are 2 students, right? Okay, if you click on the second one, there's 1 student. Okay, and notice a combined view right here. So if you need to start all of these, then do a combined view. All right, so I'm going to do the combined view for right now. All right, so number 5, choose the session from the left-hand side of the screen. The Start Session button appears. So if you pick this one right here, see the Start Session button right here? If you pick this one, the Start Session button appears. If you want to start both of those sessions rather than doing each one individually, then do the combined view. Click on the combined view and notice all of the students are listed. Okay? All right, and it's going to say start all sessions. So I want to just show you something again. So see the word when I did a combined view? It says start all sessions, right? So that's all sessions that's in the session list. There are 2 sessions in this session list. If I just want to use the first one, notice the word start session because there's just 1 session I want to start. If I do the other one, notice the word start session because there's only 1 session I want to start. But what's probably going to happen for almost all of you is you're going to have multiple sessions here that you need to start. So click on the combined view and we're going to start all sessions. All right, so before I click on all start sessions, remember what was stated in our online administration manual. When we select a start session, number 6, notice those 3 notes. Bullet number 1, the test session is now marked as in progress. Bullet number 2, the start session button becomes a stop session button. All right, you now have a padlock next to the test. And then bullet number 3, in the examinee pane, notice the student test status is marked as ready, but has a padlock. This means the test is locked and the room supervisor has to unlock it. All right, so let's do number 6 now. We're on step number 6. Okay, so before I click on the start all sessions, notice under the session right here, see it's gray right here? See it's gray, right? Gray circle. And notice the student test status is a padlock and it says ready. All right, so again, notice in the combined view, there are 2, see in parentheses 2, there are 2 sessions or 2 test sessions I created that I need to now start. So that's what that 2 right here represents. That 2 represents these 2 right here, the sessions list, that are in the sessions list. Notice it's gray. All right, now I'm going to go ahead now and click on Start All Sessions. Okay, so when I click on Start All Sessions, let's see what happens. All right, it's starting. See the word starting? Okay, and then now it's green. See that? It is now green. So notice this makeup session is green. The makeup is green. Okay? All right, now notice it's green. It's in progress, right? And then notice, just like we saw earlier, it's still marked as gray. And the student test status, it has a padlock and it says ready. Notice the start all sessions now becomes stop all sessions. That's going to be important at the end of testing. So it says stop all sessions now. All right, so this now says in progress. This now says all stop all sessions, and we see padlock with the word ready. So it's now locked. The room supervisor will now be able to go in and unlock the test session for each of those students. All right, so that is the 2 important things that the test coordinator has to do before the day before testing and the morning of testing. So the day before testing, the test coordinator has to prepare test sessions, and the morning of the test coordinator has to start the test sessions. Those 2 things can only be done by the test coordinator. Okay, so that's going to take care of setting up for test day. Do you have any questions? Okay, so when you do the mock administration, in about 3 weeks, you're going to have to perform those 2 steps. You're going to have to go in and prepare a test session and start a test session the morning of, and your room supervisors during that mock administration are going to go in and unlock the test, and then y'all gonna practice on those tests to see if there are any issues in testing. All right, so any questions on what we just did? Say something. I know you've never done this before, so it's overwhelming. Say it again, Peggy?
Did you have a video for that one?
Well, that was a video, and it is, yes, I see what you're saying. Yes, it is in Canvas. So if you go to the Canvas course, let me show you where it is, okay? So I'm going to home. See where it says Online Administration Manual Trainings? When you click on that, it is, let's see, right here, number 8, Setting Up for Test Day, pages 45 through 46. Okay? Yeah, thank you. Any questions? Now, you haven't practiced on this yet, so all you're seeing is our discussion about it. You haven't done anything hands-on yet. We're going to do hands-on next time we meet. Okay, so let's talk about what we haven't done today that we were supposed to do. All right, so I'm going back to the agenda. All right, so here's what I need for you to do. You see number 12 and 13? That's independent. I need you to do that next time. So staff roles and responsibilities, that's an easy read. It's easy to understand. And for those of you that are not new, it's stuff that you've already know from previous years. Staffing requirements, that's an easy read. I'm going to ask you this, just to see if you remember something. Anyone can answer this. Can a teacher, well, let me ask you this. Can you, if you have a relative taking a test in Shreveport, you have a relative taking a test in Shreveport during that same testing day that you're administering the test in Baton Rouge, can you still serve as test coordinator?
No.
Nope, you cannot. Even if that student is miles away, anywhere in the United States, could be in Hawaii, could be in Alaska. Anywhere in the United States, you cannot serve as test coordinator. You can serve as room supervisor, but you cannot serve as test coordinator. Same thing for a PE teacher that is a coach. Those teachers cannot serve as test coordinators. They can serve as room supervisors as long as it's not one-on-one with a student athlete. All right, so that's stuff we've already knew from previous years if you're not a new coordinator. So I need for you to do 12 and 13 independently. Now, we have not gone to numbers 10 and 11. Oops, we did not get to numbers 10 and 11. We have to do that next time. But here's what I need for you to do. I need for you to, if you have not created, if you did not create your 4 test sessions and training, I need for you to do that for next time because we're going to do more things with that. If you're not at this point, you're going to fall further and further and further behind to the point where it's just going to be a disaster for testing. So you have to be on track to where we need to be for next week. All right, and then don't forget, you got to do these tasks 19 and 20. Don't forget to do that. Okay, before we go, any questions? Oh, let me do the sign-in sheet. I'm sorry. Some of you came in after I put the sign-in sheet. Is the sign-in sheet still in chat?
Yes, it remains. Just to scroll back.
Okay.
To where
Yeah, so scroll back. If it's in chat somewhere, just scroll back up until you find the sign-in sheet.
Mr. Dozak, there's a question by Mr. Davis in the chat box. Could you answer that, please?
Oh, yeah, that's a good question. So, Michael, so the question is, how long is a mock administration going to take? And we're going to look at an example. I'll show you an example of this next time. But what you're going to do is you're going to, on the desktop or Chromebooks, remember, Michael, you're using Chromebooks. You're using student Chromebooks. So you're going to have to do this on the student Chromebooks to make sure that it's working for the students, and the room supervisors will have to do that in their Chromebooks as well because they're going to be unlocking tests. So it will take about 20 minutes for the mock administration. It's not going to take long. We just need to know that the Chromebooks you're using, the desktops you're using, will work with the mock administration. It won't take long. It will take at most maybe 20 minutes. Okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome. But it's important. Listen to me. Your students are going to use our Chromebooks. The teachers are going to use the desktop or maybe a Chromebook as well. Your teachers are going to use some of the students' Chromebooks, not all of them, some of them, just to verify that they are able to log into TestNav. And you're on the mock administration, you're going to do the authorization tickets. So you're going to put the username and password in, go to test number 1, which is gibberish, by the way. It makes no sense. You're going to see what I mean when we get to it. Makes no sense. But you're going to do a couple of items. Then you're going to go to test number 2, do a couple of items, go to test 3, do a couple of items, do test 4, do a couple of items, and then submit. Then the room supervisor is going to go to their desktop and they're going to close a test session, or they're going to make a test session resume just so they practice with it. So I know I said a lot there, but we'll get to the point where we need to be before March. Okay, any other questions?
Michael, do you have your agenda posted anywhere in the course?
No, I don't have this one posted. I have the others posted, so let me show you where it's going to be. So when you go to the home page and you go to recordings right here, go to recordings. This is the one we did last week. So here's the go here to access the video, go here. Now remember, we did a makeup last week because of the issue we're having with intranet at McAuliffe. Here's the agenda. So I'll do the same thing for today. Okay. But remember, I also email it to you. So it'll be an email and also be here. But thank you for that question. But remember, your assignment is to make sure you finish creating your test sessions and training. Do not go into PA Next. For one thing, you can anyway. it's not available. But when it does become available, don't do anything yet until you're told to do so, so you don't mess anything up. Everything is done in training right now. And then your assignment is to do numbers 12 and number 13. Okay? All right, so any questions?
Michael, should I finish verifying my accommodations in PA Next first before I do the enrollment count, or does it matter?
I would do the okay. So first of all, you have to do the PIN numbers, right? Did you do that yet?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I started working on that yesterday. That's how I discovered I had to switch my translated students to paper.
Yeah, so go ahead and do the PIN numbers first, and then at the end, make sure you verify that yes, those students now in online are correct, and those students in accommodations are correct.
Yes.
All right. Now, I meant to say this, and Ms. Odom forgot to remind me. But remember, if you have a student that needs translated test directions, that is paper based. So you're gonna have to go in and change the student testing format to paper. It will not allow you to do online for translated test directions. And Ms. Odom found that out yesterday. Ms. Odom, you want to say anything?
So when you go in, it'll let you link the accommodations with it being online. But if you scroll down, it's going to say something about there'll be no accommodations because it's online. So you have to go back and change to paper. And then once you change it to paper, then you see that the translated text directions will pop up, and then it'll put at the bottom what language.
Right. So let me go to his school real quick to show you what he's talking about, because Karen, you're going to have that issue because you have ELL students.
No, sir, I will not. They did not give them the accommodations this year.
You didn't ask for it?
Yes, sir. I went and spoke with the lead teacher to explain to her a lot of the accommodations that our ESL students used to receive. They no longer receive them.
Okay. So let me go to Broadmoor just to show you something. So when I go to Broadmoor and I go to testing, let's say I'm going to organization, go to Broadmoor, then go to all task, edit enrollment count. So I'm going to go to, see where it says translated test instruction for English learners? So at first, he didn't have anything. He had to go back in and change the format to paper for this to show up right here. So he has 18 students that need translated accommodations, and it has to be done on paper, and one that is translated audio kit. All right, so make sure you're checking all those. If you have students that have translated test instructions, that's paper. It will not allow you to do online. So that brings me to something else. All we've been focusing on was online, right? We haven't done anything with paper yet. So we got to talk about paper also quickly. But for all of it, except for maybe a handful, have done paper testing before, so that's not going to be an issue. And it's not that difficult for those of you that haven't done paper testing before. Okay, so remember, I need you to complete those two tasks, the 12 and 13, and I need for you to do number 7. There are a couple of you that didn't do number 7. Make sure you do number 7. Create 4 test sessions in the training and add students to it. All right, so if you don't have any questions, I'll let you go. Let me know. Everybody okay?
So that works. So you should be.
And thank you, all of you participated when I called on you, and I do appreciate that. All right, any questions? If not, I'll see you later. Have a great weekend.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye, Michael.
Bye, Ms. Veal.
Thank you. Have a great one.
Maria.
Stay warm and stay safe, y'all.
You're welcome.
Bye.
A person I couldn't get into as a user.
What?
Remember, I couldn't get Mr. White in as a user?
Yes, let's see. Let me see what the issue may be. You may need to, if I can't figure it out, you're gonna have to call ACT. Let's see, but let me see if I
Okay.
can figure it out.
Okay.
Because I just don't know why he's not showing up. When I try,
Why? I get an error every time I try to put him in, but I put my other two ladies in, no problem.
I think it was in before, and
He was,
yeah, and
because he was the coordinator.
all right. So let me see if I can pull him up this way. I'm going to users. I'm going to let's find this. Nothing shows up. God, that sucks. Let's see. White. D-E-D. How you spell his name? D-E-T-R-I-C-K?
D-E-T-R-I-C-K.
God dang it. This is aggravating.
It is. I put in his email address. He was standing here when I did it. So all that was correct. But it kept giving me an error.
God. Oh.